welcome to the Muskie Daily. I'm Meg Neglich.
And I'm Justin Howard, bringing you an up-to-date campus and countrywide news. Muskegon University has recently added a new minor to the academic curriculum. Students are now able to pursue their interests in law and in the government. Mark Danner has more on this subject.
Muskegon University has a new minor for students here on campus. Dr. Brian King, the chair of the Department of Political Science, explains a little bit about the minor.
Put a program together to prep people for law school. So we put together a minor that really is focused around the skill sets that law schools need for students to succeed. We have a 21-hour minor, which is just a little bit larger than the standard, but it's because we have a core. The core is 6 hours. 2 of it is the library research methods course, which personally I would recommend every student take for any reason. The 3-hour course in logic and critical thinking that comes out of the philosophy department, and the 1-hour pre-law course that we recommend that people would take in their junior year. And then after that, it's a range of courses. I mentioned those skill sets. Each of those skill sets has their own category. And within the category, we have courses from political science, history, English, sociology, theater, communication. It's really all over the place.
Dr. King tells us about the interest level of students on campus.
We've gotten a lot of interest so far, which is exciting. We've got students who are going to be seniors. We've got students who are still prospectives and haven't been accepted yet to Muskegon, and pretty much everyone in between. So we're very excited to know that we're going to get a good cross-section of students, and we're going to get hopefully a large number.
Dr. King also talked about the possibility of a pre-law major.
One of the quirks about law school admissions is that they're not overly concerned with what your major is, as long as it's a major that gives you the skills necessary to succeed.
If anyone is interested in a pre-law minor, you can go and speak with Dr. Brian King or talk to Professor Stacy Parker or Dr. David Toboshnik, and they will get you connected. For Open Media News, I'm Mark Danner.
On April 5th, Equality Alliance held their 12th annual drag show. Including both amateur and professional queens and kings, there was a large array of performances. Acts included music from Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Drake, Beyonce, and many more. With over 200 students attending, it's safe to say that the event was a success.
The 7th annual wellness fair, Be Well Just for the Health of It, is an ongoing theme. The fair is held in the Rec Center on Wednesday, April 17th from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. There will be over 20 wellness-related stations with attendants on campus to provide free interactive health screenings. This event is sponsored by the Muskegon University Wellness Center and Counseling Services and Northside Pharmacy's Wellness Services. Something to be aware of, the tables may have a charge fee for the screenings. It's possible for students to have this charged to their college account.
Many of the art students have been complaining about the noise coming from the construction site nearby. This construction is for the new art building. The building will be located between the Neptune Art Center and the Art Annex. More information will be to come.
Teenage sisters are credited for saving their father's life. Pat Doris has the story.
In the quiet country 15 miles east of Lebanon, people know how to take care of themselves. It's essential. Emergency medical care is a long ways off.
About 20 minutes probably.
Which is why there was no room for error on Monday, April 1st, when Jeff Smith nearly went for the last ride of his life on his 1949 tractor.
I reached for the shifter, but my boots had a bunch of mud on it, and my foot slipped off the clutch, and it just walked the tractor straight over backwards on top of me.
He was pinned in the middle of his garden. His daughters were out walking their dogs, and with no one else around, he did the only thing he could. He screamed for help.
Which was scary because it was on my chest. Every time I called out for help, it was kind of like a constrictor. Every time I yelled out, I lost some of that. I could only get some of that back.
His daughters heard the cries and ran back to the house.
He was just laying in the dirt underneath the tractor, and he was just screaming, and he would not stop screaming.
They tried to dig him out, but they couldn't, so they grabbed onto the heavy iron machine weighing 3,000 pounds and lifted.
Do you remember what it was like? I mean, when you grabbed onto it, were you thinking anything?
This is really heavy, but I need to get it off of him.
I was saying, God help me, over and over, because I obviously could not lift it myself. It was heavy.
But not heavier than their desire to save their dad. They raised it just enough for him to slide out.
They're great girls, but I mean, that's a lot of weight just to think. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I'm a big guy, and I don't know if I could do that.
8 days after it happened, 16-year-old Hannah and 14-year-old Haley still struggled to explain how they did it. Maybe it's because they knew they had to rescue their father. They couldn't wait 20 minutes. And maybe it's because they didn't have time to wonder if it was possible.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe we did
it's
it.
It's kind of like a dream when you think back. It just feels like a dream. It feels like it never happened.
Aaron Dunnock, a professor in the history department, has been teaching at Muskingum University for 3 years. Dunnock teaches U.S. history courses as well as upper-level courses on gender and sexuality, the 1950s youth in modern America, and the American dream. She focused on the social and cultural history of the 20th century, with special focus on a media and celebrity, youth culture and activism, and gender and citizenship. Professor Dunnock has written a book entitled As Long as We Both Shall Love, The White Wedding in Post-War America, which is scheduled to be released in summer 2013. The book stems from her dissertation research and explores the wedding traditions back to the 19th century and the wedding industry of the 20th century. Up next is weather and sports.
Hello, New Concord, and welcome to another spring day on the campus of Musking University. I'm Greg Engler, here to announce your orbit forecast. Tonight, look for a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 58. Tomorrow, watch out for showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly after 1, mostly cloudy with a high near 72. For tomorrow night, keep an eye out for showers and thunderstorms, low around 47. It's going to be warm these next few days, but watch out for thunderstorms rolling across the Muskingum area. Now let's take a look at your extended forecast. For Friday, look for showers before 7 in the morning with a high near 51 with a 60% chance of rain. The rain will part and look for sunny skies on Saturday with a high near 46. To round off the weekend on Sunday, look for another sunny day with a high near 58. It's going to be a comfortable weekend, but be sure to grab a jacket just in case it gets cold. I'm back with sports. Musking University Track and Field competed at this large meet against some of the top D2 and D3 teams in the state, coming out in 11th place for the women and 8th place for the men. The track and field team will be competing Saturday, April 13th against the All-Ohio Championships hosted by Ohio Wesleyan University. The Muskingum softball team played in a doubleheader with the Marietta Pioneers and managed a twin bill split on Tuesday. The Muskies won the opener 8-4, while the Pioneers snagged later game 9-4. The Muskies took advantage in the first game when they saw the Marietta pitcher struggling.
The Muskingum University track and field team was in action this weekend at the Marv Ryan Invitational at the venue of Ohio Wesleyan University. With a 20-team field, the Muskies came out of an 11th place finish on the women's side and an 8th place finish on the men's. Head track and field coach Jacob Gleason tells us a little bit about his athletes' performances at the big meet.
Big meet, about 20 teams there. So it was in some of the better Division III and Division II competition in the state. So that's always kind of the start to the peaking phase for us as we prep for the conference championships. Good meet. We had some good performances on both the men's and the women's side. I think we've kind of set the stage for later on in the year. The throws were good. Our women throwers performed well, scored a lot of points for us. Allison Gillian performed very well in the hammer for us. We were excited about that. Kavisha Danley ran well in the 400 for us. We were excited there. And Allie Reed ran really well in the 800 for us. And she was part of our 4x4 that ran well with her and Kavisha and Becca Wise and Allison Healy. Men's side, pretty good all the way around. I thought we had some pretty good performances from a lot of different groups. Our jumps group was really solid, with Trayvon winning the high jump and Chris Lardy jumping really well in long and triple jump. Greg Grove jumped well. Alvin Taylor was really strong in the 200 and 400 for us. And we had some pretty good distance performances. Tyler Smith was exceptional in the 5K. So we've kind of set the stage here as we start to peak and get ready for the championships.
The Muskies' next meet will be once again at Ohio Wesleyan University, this time for the All-Ohio competition. For Orbit Media News, I'm Travis Crawford.
Ever wonder how Pride and Prejudice came to be? In the upcoming Muskingum play, Lizzie, Darcy, and Jane, you discover exactly how it happened. Is the author the god of the book, or do the characters decide their own destinies? Celebrating the 200th anniversary of the publication of Pride and Prejudice, Muskingum is proud to present Lizzie, Darcy, and Jane. Our fellow Muskies, Taylor Bruss, Katie Romshak, and Marcus Correa, will be starring in the spectacular show. Be sure to come to the play, showing on April 17th through the 20th at 8 in the evening, and an afternoon showing on April 21st at 2 to experience the magic of Jane Austen.
Summer is almost here, and traveling by plane may be in the plans in today's Health Minute. Holly Furfer reports on what people can do to avoid or prevent being uncomfortable, on how some airports are intervening in helping with the travel stress.
Hours in a cramped space can wreak havoc on your body.
One of the issues a lot of people will have will be back pain, buttock pain, or hamstring tightness or calf tightness.
That's why many airports across the country are trying to help their passengers unwind.
I think as a society we are becoming a lot healthier, and we're also traveling a lot more. So we're finding that airports are responding to this.
Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport has installed mosaic medallions on the floor. They're works of art used to guide passengers in a nearly 1-mile walking route around the terminal.
Walking's fantastic, especially that's going to overall maintain some flexibility in the muscles in the back and buttock area and the legs when you're walking.
Both Dallas-Fort Worth and San Francisco International Airports have added yoga rooms. But if your travels don't land at any of these destinations, keep these tips in mind. Stay hydrated. Cabins get dry and that can cause cramping. Be as active as possible before a flight. Do some stretches during a layover. Healthy travels. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
A daring rescue caught on camera and hitting the jackpot, both literally and figuratively. The video that will have you talking is the next, and take a look at this.
Take a look at this. A man scales 3 stories to rescue a little girl trapped inside a burning building in China. Actually, he climbed the outside of the building twice. Once to see if anyone was inside, then again armed with an axe and supplies to free the girl. Once he reached her, the man tied the girl to a rope and lowered her to firefighters below. How great would it be to win $40,000? Now imagine how much better it would be to discover that your winning ticket was actually worth $40 million. You'd probably dance with joy just like this woman in Canada. The lucky mother-daughter duo laughed, cried, and yes, danced at their check acceptance in Toronto this week. Speaking of hitting the jackpot, take a look at this. Philanthropist and cosmetics tycoon Leonard Lauder is donating a collection of prized paintings to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Forbes estimates the painting treasure trove is valued at $1.1 billion. The works include 33 by Picasso and dozens more by iconic painters from the Cubist movement. Lauder hopes his donation draws more audiences to the museum and more attention to Cubist artists. For Take a Look at This, I'm Elizabeth Corridon.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.